Good evening, everybody. My name is Sukh Chamdal. I'm the CEO and the founder of the Cake Box. I'm joined by Michael Botha, who's our new CFO. If you have a look at our first slide, that's the introduction to Cake Box for people who don't know about us. We started in a small shop in East London in 2008, and now we are proud to say that we operate out of a 30,000 square foot facility in Enfield, North London. We also have 2 satellite sites in Coventry and Bradford. We listed in 2018 and have grown to 205 franchise stores as of March 31st, 2023. What do we do? In my opinion, we make the best fresh cream celebration cakes in the UK, and they're all made without eggs. Why, you may ask? Because we started off in a very mixed ethnic area of London. It made sense to remove one ingredient to make our cakes suitable for all ethnic communities as well as the indigenous population. We pioneered the concept of ready-to-go celebration cakes with free on-the-spot personalization as well as the click and collect in 1 hour concept. And this is all reflective in the strong growth profile that we've got, especially online. I'll go on to our next slide. And if you have a look at this map, this shows the locations across the UK with our depots also shown. So you can see the blue is in our Enfield. Then we've got our Midlands, Coventry, and the green is our Bradford site. And if you look at the map of Great Britain, you can see we've only got 1 store in Scotland and we've only got 4 stores in Wales. And you can see all the white space in the UK, which is inviting us to come and open a store or a kiosk. So as you can see, there's a great growth potential awaiting us. We were born in the midst of a recession in 2008, and we flourished in the pandemic. But the unprecedented triple whammy of the Ukraine war, which caused inflation and high energy prices, I believe derailed the whole world economy. This generation has not experienced inflation or high interest rates. All this with the added hangover of unused holidays during the pandemic, which everybody took in April and August last year. And top all this up with a 9-week heat wave, it caused a very challenging first half of the financial year. But the consumer, by September, had consolidated their budgets and have gone back to form. And what do I mean by that? That when there is dark and gloom, when there is a recession, people always look for that one chink of light. And that chink of light is the celebration. So it may be a birthday, an anniversary, and what they will do, they will make sure that they celebrate that without the restrictions of cost, without the restriction of health benefits, without restriction of calories. And so that's where we come in with the celebration cake. And they will spend that few pounds extra for that special celebration because it'll get you to forget what's going on in the world. They will consolidate their budgets, so they will spend less on takeaways, less on dry cleaning, less on eating out, but they will always go for that celebration treat. So that is the reason why we've experienced a second half recovery in sales, and we're also experiencing or stabilization in the raw material prices. Usually we don't put up our retail prices for 2 years and our wholesale prices, but last year we've had to put them up several times because of the unprecedented pressure on raw materials. If we go into the next slide, this is reflected, what I said before, this is reflected in the revenues, expected to be up circa 5% year on year. The profits are in line with the market expectation, along with the positive like-for-likes, and we have opened new stores within our target range. This has resulted in us only raising retail prices of our products well below the food inflation rate to protect our customer, give them a very clear, affordable treat for their celebration. And as a result, we have seen the loyalty among our customers being retained. We also continue to attract new customers with our marketing initiatives. We have a new marketing director who's taking us in new directions. So we are all using all available means, or TikTok, YouTube, or Instagram, Facebook, to attract new customers, as well as retaining our existing customers as well. I'll hand over to Michael now for the next slide on the continuation of opening of new stores. Michael?
Right, thank you very much, Sukh. So as Sukh has mentioned, so despite the tough and uncertain economic conditions over the past year, the group continued to open new stores, and we opened a further 10 stores in the second half of the year, which brought our total stores open for the year at 20, and with the group surpassing the 200 store milestone during the second half of the year. At the end of the year, the group had 205 stores opened, with a further 28 kiosks open as well. During the year, we also opened in areas, geographical areas, which we hadn't gone into before, like Oxford, Banbury, and Kettering. So at the end of the year, the group continued to have a strong balance sheet with strong cash flow generation during the year. Our cash position was up 21% year on year, where we ended with 6.3 million of cash versus 5.2 million for the previous year end.
Okay, and on this slide, you can see an example of our products. Very reasonable, very unique. Birthday cakes from £21. We do a selection of cake slices, cheesecakes, platter cakes, cupcakes, and everything we can do on demand. We've created a market which was not there before. A lot of you out there are too young to remember, but you had to give 3 days, 4 days notice in order to order a personalized cake. And what we've done is, because we've enabled the consumer to get a cake on demand, it's created a new market for it. For example, GCSE results, A-level results, or partial driving test. You know, you can go into any of our shops, commiserations or congratulations, 5 A stars, or we've got the religious occasions as well, where they never used to celebrate with a cake, but now Eid, Diwali, Christmas, New Year is now our number one busiest time of the year, followed by Christmas, then Eid, then we've got Mother's Days, Valentine's Days, and that's all because what we've done is that we've put the customer first. We all live very busy lives, and we want everything now, on demand, and I believe that is what we provide. And so we continue to innovate on new products. For example, we've just launched, as you saw on our first slide, the mango range. So we've got a whole range of mango cheesecake, mango slices, mango cupcakes, mango cake, mango cheesecakes, and it's provided a very successful start to this new year as well. We provide a very good offering at very reasonable prices to all our customers. Want to move on to Q&A now?
Okay, moving on to some questions for you. The first one come up was, is there anybody else doing what you're doing in the marketplace currently?
Of course, you're always going to get a competition. I think our copying is the greatest form of flattery. We've got a small chain in the Midlands. They've got about 23 shops. We've got another chain based in Wellingborough. They've got about 26, 27 shops. And then we've got a lot of the mum and dad shops dotted around the country. But it just shows that the resilience of our market, the resilience of our brand, and we welcome competition, because I believe it creates a market, and where people will try the competition, then come back to the original and the best.
Okay, so what's leading on from that? What's the differential between yourself and your competition? What makes you stand out?
We were the original. We provide the leadership, and they just purely copy. And what they're trying to compete on is in price. And despite the 4 price increases we've done last year, we haven't seen a drop in sales or our customers complaining about the prices. And so all our competitors try to do is they see what we're doing and they copy, which I think is a testament to our leadership in the market.
Okay. Next question. How serious has the impacts on rising transport costs affected the price of your products and prices of ingredients?
Michael?
So it did have a substantial impact during the past year and since the start of the Ukraine war. We've managed to keep some of those price increases from our franchisees, as well as from our customers as well. We're now seeing an easing in terms of the pricing and freight pricing, and we're starting to see a few input prices coming down. So yes, that has impacted us, but we've managed to absorb them through the business, through other efficiencies, to a position now where we can actually see those cost prices coming down.
Okay. You mentioned earlier about retaining customers and adding new customers. So what are you actually doing on a marketing level? Are you offering like loyalty points or something like that?
Well, I believe that we have one of the best or rising online proposition. Our percentage of sales online continue to grow month by month, and it's that we target our existing customers. We give them the best customer service, unparalleled in the industry. We look after our customers. We give them what they want, and what you find that the customer rewards you by coming back. We have a new website in development. Once that website's up and running in the second quarter of this year, it will allow us a lot more data collection. It will allow us, what you said, like the loyalty program. We are working on a loyalty program as well. But what we give the customer the best product at the best price at the best customer service. I think that is reflected in the retention of our customers.
Okay. So from a franchise perspective, has the attraction and value of the proposition changed due to price rises?
Or their gross margins have been affected, and you would expect that with the inflation in raw materials. But we're working hard in getting those margins back up to where they were. But in the last few months, it's shown the resilience of our model. We've got 49 deposits for shops to open. So that shows that the confidence in the market is returning, and consumers are now again, or the investors are now got the confidence to come back and take the plunge and open their own business.
Okay. So have you put up the cost of the franchise package?
The franchises, or the franchise cost is roughly about the same, because we have, for example, the wall boards and wall sheets and tables. We've got a lot of stock of those, so those prices haven't gone up. And there's not a huge increase in the building materials that we use. So there's no change in the price that you would have paid last year and you're paying this year.
Okay. What plans have you got for another hot summer? Is it going to change the product range, the impacts on how you're going to cope with it? When
something is normal, like a hot summer, then people are used to it and don't change their habits. But when it's a freak, like last year, right, people change their habits. So what happens is, in the first week, they enjoy the hot summer. Second week, they take it into the garden. But third week, they start traveling. They go to seaside, they go to family, etc. And that continues while the hot weather is coming. But if it's a norm, then it wouldn't change. But we have preparations. We're bringing out our lime and lemon cakes. We're going to bring out our strawberries and cream or themed cakes. So we have plans in place that if we do have a hot summer, how do we attract, retain, and get the customer to come back in again despite the hot weather?
Right. I think what you need to do is get a contract with Wimbledon.
Absolutely, Bob. We will have a strawberries and cream or based a cake with that.
That's right. So how are you developing in Wales and Scotland? I noticed on the map you had a few dots, but only one, I think, in Scotland.
That's right. We've got 6 potential shops coming up. 3 in Edinburgh and 2 more in Glasgow in the process. We've got interest from Aberdeen and we've got interest from Stirling as well. And we're hoping that this year, early next year, that we should start accelerating our growth in Scotland.
Okay. I think this one's for Mike. What's the split of franchise versus owned stores?
It's fully franchised.
Fully franchised.
Yes, yeah, we do not own any corporate or run any corporate stores ourselves.
Okay, thank you for that.
100%.
Sorry, Mike, go on.
I was just going to say 100%. I could have easily said that very short and sweet, 100%.
Okay. And what is the dividend yield?
So our dividend yield for last year, the year before, was 5.5%.
And we've got a progressive dividend policy. So
Right.
we aim to increase the dividend every year. And we have done so since we listed, and we continue to do so. We increased it in the interim, and we aim to increase it again in the full year.
Excellent, excellent. Another question here. Are airports and train stations, etc., being fully utilised?
Again, we are looking at all formats of where we can be, and or if an opportunity comes up in airports, we will absolutely grab them. We're looking very seriously at all train stations, and we are working out a format which will work well. But as you know, everybody's in a hurry, and everybody wants a grab and go concept. So we're working on that, and what I would like to say is watch this space.
Exactly. I suppose, obviously, as you say, because everyone's in a hurry, places like transport links and that sort of thing, you'd have to change the product range, wouldn't you?
Absolutely, and we are working on a product range, especially for the grab and go market.
Yeah. Okay. So in general, someone said, how big is the UK cake luxury food confectionery market?
It's £2 billion, and let me put it simply, right? 68 million people in this country, 365 days in the year. That's 150,000 birthdays celebrated every single day. And how much have we got? That much. And so we want to make it that much.
That much. Yeah? Absolutely, absolutely. Well, if you're like the Queen, you could have more than one birthday a year, couldn't you?
And that's what I would love to everybody to have that.
What measures are you taking to reduce waste, bearing in mind environmental concerns and obviously the short shelf life of your products?
I am so proud to say that our waste is very, very minimal. The way we set up our systems, or the franchisee makes a cake, sells it, replaces it. And so there is no waste at the end of the day, because if we sell a cake at 6:45 p.m. and we close at 7, the cake that replaces it can easily be sold next day, which it should be, because it allows it to concentrate the flavor. But we only replace the product as we sell it. So we don't have a lot of product there left over, which we would waste. So our systems allow us for very, very little waste. And if we do have a cake which hasn't sold all day, what we would do is we'll cut it up by the end of the day and distribute it as samples.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
So zero waste on the cakes that we have. We don't throw anything away.
Good to hear.
Just following on from that, at our facilities, our production facilities as well, we do work very hard to keep the waste down to a minimum, and what we do have goes to local farms to be used as feed as well. So it's a very important thing for us to make sure that there's as little waste as possible.
And also, again, it impacts on cutting costs as well, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yes. Finally, can you comment on the overall economics of owning a Cake Box franchise and how it's changed?
We originally, you would get your investment return in 18 months. This has gone up slightly to about 24 months. Or the operating margins were 63%, but they've dropped to about 56%. But as they are growing up again, or normally you would have seen about £90,000 EBITDA, and that's dropped to about 60,000 at the moment. But again, with energy prices going down, with raw material prices going down, we expect that to rise again in the next 12 to 18 months.
Right. And do you have an overall target for the end of this year?
So we aim to have 20 to 24 stores open every year, and I believe we're well on the way to achieving that. And on top of that, there are bonuses, any kiosks in the supermarkets or the shopping centres that are opened. That's our bonuses.
Yeah. And do you think this is the perfect business model in many respects for this type of business, this type of product?
I believe that we have a very good processes in place, and we have a very confident model, and that shows by the confidence in the franchisees, our existing franchisees. We've got 43 which are more than one store owner, and I'm proud to say we've got over 40 female franchisors who are multi as well. So we've got a very strong mix of franchisees, and it shows that we got 4, 3, 4, 5, 6 have got more than 6 stores, and they've put down deposits to increase their holdings as well. And just shows that the confidence they have in the model, and they all recognise that last year was a blip. It was something out the extraordinary, and it's back to business as normal now.
I see. And how do you maintain communication with your franchisees? How do you keep everybody happy?
We have a Zoom forum every Wednesday,
right?
And we discuss with each other. We let them know of the latest developments, and we have a physical conference every quarter. And or we have 3 area managers across the country communicating with the franchisees, and we have our compliance officers on the road as well. And so we've all our franchisees interact with each other. And the best example of this is in COVID, when one of our stores, the entire store caught COVID. So the only option was it to close the shop. But when the other franchisees heard of that, what they've done, they all banded together and they kept that shop open. They sent their staff, they sent their products, and made sure that shop did not close. So we've got a very close community among our franchisees. We're like a big family, and that's what I like to think it of. And we all the time, when one of the franchisees runs out of some materials, maybe a sponge or cream, they just go to the nearest one and they'll borrow it off them.
Excellent. That's a good relationship to have, I think, and it's very important, as you say, you have regular contact with them to maintain that strong bond.
Oh, absolutely. And we encourage all the franchisees to talk to each other, and they support each other. There's a lot of franchisees who use the older franchisees as mentors because they've been here quite a while with us. And all our senior management is open to any phone call, any email, 24/7. All our franchisees know. That includes our staff as well. Any member of my staff, from the cleaners right up to senior management, can walk into my office and talk to me. We're a very open, very family orientated organization.
Excellent. So hopefully you've got a special franchisees cake that you all share once a year, do you?
Oh, absolutely. But we make a special one for every birthday that we have in the office.
Excellent. Okay, gentlemen, I think that's the end of the presentation and the questions.